Hey, Shalawam, Shalawam. Let's get into this one. Shut the live out real quick. Alright, we're gonna begin in about a minute or two. Okay. And on TikTok, this is all fair use. Okay, just playing these videos for informational purposes only, educational purposes only. Alright. So anything that I play is it's just all educational. Alright. So hey, we're gonna begin the live in about 2 minutes. Let brothers and sisters give time for brothers and sisters to get up in here, man. All right. I need some coconut water too. All right. Facing the east, all praises be to Yahawah, Bahasham, Yahawashi, Bahasham, Kakadash. Double honors to the apostles, elders, and bishops of the great millstone, which rule well and teach well in sincerity, taught us this truth. Shalawam to the Lord's hopeful elect. 144,000 men, as well as 1/3 men, women, and children, maintaining themselves, keeping the laws, commandments, and statutes to the best of their ability. It's your brother Yerami Kazak. Back with hopefully another edifying lesson through the spirit, power, and strength of Yahawah, Bahasham, Yahawashi, Bahasham, Kakadash. Alright, the true names of the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit. Yahawah means He is, He exists. Yahawashi means He saves, He delivers, He is salvation. And Rakakadash means a spirit that's holy, a spirit that's set apart. Alright, so this lesson will be entitled, Suppression is Oppression. Okay, now we're going into 10 inventions. It says, and this is, you can find this on YouTube, 10 impossible inventions that were erased from history. Okay, now what you're seeing right now is the Tesla machine, which is actually a movie on this. You know, you can go watch the movie on it. I had a couple of these inventions, okay? But it was suppressed, and it was pretty much took off the map because of what it would have brought to the world, you know? And that goes the same for the rest of these 10 inventions that I'm going to go into, all right? So without further ado, man, let's get into it. I done gave brothers and sisters 2 minutes to get up in here, but, you know, it's only 4 people in here. All right, so, hey, Shalawam to y'all. Let's get to it. Oh, let me plug up speakers. All right. And as you can see all the inventions right here. The Tesla free energy generator, the Rife cancer cure machine, right? The Brown anti-gravity device, the Keeley motor mystery, the Hutchinson effect apparatus, the right orgone, the coil castle magnetic levitation, which I think this is how they made the pyramids. All right, the Cyril effect generator, the Schauberger implosion engine, and the Philadelphia experiment, right? Which that one goes into teleportation, right? And Yahawah Bahasham Yahawashi was basically allowing these individuals to tap in to technology that was from the past, you know, because first of all, it started with this scripture. Looking at this stuff, being like, man, no, all of this stuff has always been, man. All right. This is Ecclesiastes 1:9. The thing that has been, it is that which shall be, and that which is done is that which shall be done. And there is no new thing under the sun. Is there anything whereof it may be said, see, this is new? It hath been already of old time, which was before us. There is no remembrance of former things, neither shall there be any remembrance of things that are to come with those that shall come after. All right. So even down to a cell phone. This is not a new invention. Okay. This is not new. I've stumbled upon some information showing that, man, you've had civilizations that were able to communicate with each other long time ago. All right. Through certain devices, you know. So this type of stuff is not new, man. All right. It's just new to you. It's just new to you. Now, let's get into it, man.
The Tesla free energy generator. In 1899, Nikola Tesla developed a wireless power transmission system that could provide unlimited free electricity to the entire world. His Wardenclyffe Tower project successfully demonstrated the technology, powering electrical devices across Long Island without any wires or fuel sources. Within 2 years, the project was shut down. The tower was demolished, and all evidence of Tesla's breakthrough was systematically destroyed. Tesla's free energy system worked by tapping into what he called radiant energy, electromagnetic radiation that permeates all space and can be converted into usable electricity. His tower created a resonance effect with the Earth's natural electrical field, essentially turning the entire...
Booyah. All right. Now, electromagnetic energy. Now, a lot of what I'm finding when I'm going into this is the electromagnetic energy. That is the type of energy that is just everlasting, man. It's right there for us to use, but the government doesn't want anybody to tap into it. You know what I'm saying? Exactly. Esau said, no, we can't have none of that. The wicked the Bible speaks of. Now, who is this? Who is this guy that shut this whole operation down? The video is going to tell you, but I'm going to tell you right now. Okay? JP to the Morgan. JP to the Morgan. All right? One of the head Edomites, man. All right? Of the banking families. JP Morgan was indeed a banker. Okay? He controlled a massive amount. Had a lot of power, man. Okay? Let's read a little bit about him on the Wikipedia. J. Pierpont Morgan Sr. was an American financier and investment banker who dominated corporate finance on Wall Street throughout the Gilded Age and Progressive Era as the head of the banking firm that ultimately became known as J.P. Morgan Chase and Company. He was a driving force behind the wave of industrial consolidations in the United States at the turn of the 20th century, right? Him and his sons, okay, and whoever he, dealt with, all right, these individuals would go on to lead and carry on his legacy, right? Let's get those two scriptures. The brother dropped Malachi 1:4, and it reads, whereas Edom saith, we are impoverished, but we will return and build the desolate places. Thus saith Yahawah of hosts, they shall build, but I will throw down. They shall call them the border of wickedness, and the people against Yahawah have indignation forever. So as you see with the Rockefellers, the Rothschilds, the Morgans, the DuPonts, the Kissingers, the Oppenheimers, the Kennedys, etc., the Clintons, okay, they have built back up. They are in a position of power. The banking families, man, they are in a major position of power now, okay? So, but as it says, Yahawah is going to throw them back down. So they're not going to rule forever. Let's go to Job 9:24. The earth is given into the hand of the wicked. He covereth the faces of the judges thereof. If not, where and who is he? Now, this is talking about the Edomites, the wicked. Okay? This is how they have the power to shut down something that is revolutionary, you know, and really something that's old. Because this type of energy, using the energy from the earth and that's in the atmosphere, this is what old civilizations did. All right? Tesla just tapped back into it. He said, hey, you know, Tesla was like, man, I think I know what the pyramids was used for. And it was this type of energy, man. Because if you look into where the pyramids are set up, it's heavy. It's a lot of electromagnetic energy. It's a lot of energy. It's on a ley line. All right. A major energy point on this planet. That's why the pyramids was built there. That's why Machu Picchu, that place, the pyramid is built there. That's why those structures, a lot of those major structures, line up with each other. They line up straight, you know? And we could get into that later on if I can find that video. But they line up straight because people in the ancient world had the understanding how to use the stars and to use the alignment and to use the energy that's in the earth. All right, let's keep it going.
Planet into a wireless power source that could supply unlimited energy to any receiver tuned to the correct frequency. Documented demonstrations showed Tesla's system powering entire neighborhoods on Long Island using nothing more than specialized receivers that collected energy from the air itself. Witnesses described light bulbs glowing without any connection to power lines, electric motors running continuously without fuel, and heating systems operating indefinitely without any energy source. J.P. Morgan, who had financed the project, immediately withdrew funding when he realized that free energy would destroy the profit model of the electrical power industry. Morgan reportedly told Tesla, "If anyone can draw on the power, where do we put the meter?" The financial implications were staggering. Tesla's invention threatened to eliminate the need for power companies, coal mining, and oil consumption for electrical generation. Federal agents seized all of Tesla's research materials immediately after his death in 1943, classifying his free energy patents under national security orders that remain in effect today. The FBI confiscated over 80 trunks of Tesla's documents, including detailed blueprints for scaling up the wireless power system to global proportions. Independent researchers who attempted to replicate Tesla's free energy system have faced systematic persecution. In 1957, engineer Lester Hendershot built a working reproduction of Tesla's radiant energy collector and demonstrated it to military officials. Within weeks, Hendershot's laboratory was raided by federal agents. His device was confiscated, and he was warned never to discuss his work again. The suppression continues today. Patent applications for free energy devices are immediately classified under the Invention Secrecy Act, preventing inventors from developing or discussing their technologies publicly.
And you know, I ain't gonna play all of that because it's gonna take up a lot. But as you can see, J.P. Morgan said, if the energy is free, where we gonna put the meter? Right? So it was basically shut down because you wouldn't be able to charge something that's free. Okay? Let me see. Oh, this is we got to go back a little bit. Right. Just let it go from here, I think. But moving on to the next, in that whole thing, as you can see, the FBI, CIA, when Tesla unalived, they went into his hotel room and they took all this research, they burned it, they locked it up or whatever. All right? It'll never come back to the public. Now, individuals that had to try to duplicate it, they got shut down. All right? So it's possible to recreate what he did, but you will get shut down. Now, we see Jake coming up with it. We see Jake creating such like, it's this one Jake that made a bike that's running off of plastic, you know. And it's another Jake that's doing something similar to that. But hey, man, look, look, any of y'all, man, if y'all come up with something like that, don't tell nobody. Okay? Don't go to the government. Don't try to patent it. Don't try to, no, bro. They gonna unalive your ass, bro. Okay? You should learn from those that came before you. All right? What happened to Tesla? He got his entire business. Everything took from him. They made that man poor as hell. All right? He was a struggling inventor. But he had so many inventions that would support the earth. But it was based upon free energy. You know? So let's keep it going.
The Rife Cancer Cure Machine.
Boom. Oh, you already know this one. The what? The what? The Rife Cure Machine. Now, you know, they don't want you curing none of that. They don't want you healing people. All right? I'm going to let a little bit of this play.
In the 1930s, Dr. Royal Raymond Rife invented a microscope so powerful it could observe living viruses and bacteria in real time, and discovered that specific electromagnetic frequencies could destroy cancer cells without harming healthy tissue. His frequency therapy successfully cured cancer in clinical trials with 100% success rates before being systematically suppressed by the medical establishment that profited from expensive, ineffective treatments. Rife's universal microscope achieved magnifications of over 60,000 times using a revolutionary optical system that made living microorganisms visible without killing them. Using this technology, he identified the specific electromagnetic signature of cancer-causing viruses and developed frequency generators that could destroy these pathogens selectively. The Rife frequency therapy worked by bombarding cancer cells with precise electromagnetic pulses that match their natural resonant frequency.
All right, now, what is that? Music, okay? Frequencies. What was we talking about a couple weeks ago? Music, right? We was talking about how they use 808s, how they use the frequency on the radio to destroy you and to harm you. Because Esau knows, hey, to know how to do that, we get to Psalm 64. Let's get it again. We got it last live. Let's go get it one more time. To know how to harm you with something, they got to know how to heal you with it. They encourage themselves, verse 5, in an evil manner, they commune of laying snares privately. They say, who shall see them? They search out iniquities. They accomplish a diligent search. Both the inward thought of every one of them and the heart is deep. So their mind is deep to do wickedness towards you. So they know that this type of frequency is going to hurt you. And they also know that this type of frequency is going to heal you. This type of frequency that Rife came up with was actually unaliving cancer cells. You get what we talking about, man? And it wouldn't touch any of the other cells in your body. You didn't need no chemo. You know what chemo does to you? It unalives all your cells, leaves you extremely weak. But this process here came up in the 1930s. Could unalive your cancer cells and leave the rest of your body untouched. They're like, nah, man, he got to go. He got to go.
Like an opera singer shattering a wine glass with the right note, Rife's machine could destroy malignant cells by hitting them with their exact vibrational frequency while leaving healthy cells completely unaffected. Clinical trials conducted in 1934 at the University of Southern California showed remarkable results. 16 terminal cancer patients were treated with Rife's frequency therapy, and within 70 days, 14 were completely cured. The remaining 2 patients recovered fully after their treatment protocols were adjusted, achieving a 100% cure rate for terminal cancer cases. Dr. Milbank Johnson, who directed the clinical trials, prepared to announce the revolutionary cancer cure to the medical world. But before the results could be published, Johnson died suddenly of mysterious circumstances, and all documentation of the cancer cure trials vanished from university records. The American Medical Association, led by Morris Fishbein, immediately launched a campaign to discredit Rife's work.
Boom. And that right there is what you're going to see online. If you look up his work, what it's going to tell you? The Rife Cancer Cure Machine is a discredited and unproven device that falsely claims to treat or cure cancer and other diseases using low-energy electromagnetic frequencies. The medical and scientific communities do not support its use, and there is no reliable evidence that it works. The U.S. Food and Drug Administrator has not approved the machine for any medical use. So he's labeled a quack. He's labeled dangerous, right? They unalived him and then they suppressed him. So suppression is oppression. They took away a cure for cancer, man. All right. I got you out. Ezekiel 28. Let's start at 1. The word of Yahawah came unto me, saying, Son of man, say unto the prince of Tyrus, Thus saith Yahawah power, because thine heart is lifted up, and thou hast said, I am a power, I sit in the seat of power in the midst of the seas, yet thou art a man and not power. Though thou set thine heart as the heart of power, behold, thou art wiser than Daniel. There is no secret that they can hide from thee. And doesn't Esau find it out? One way or another, he's going to find it out. Now, they sitting here like, hey, we're going to release this information to the world. Let's tell everybody we got the cure for cancer. Let's tell everybody. But Esau like, no, you're not. No, you don't have no cure for nothing. All right? You know what? You're about to disappear. You understand? With thy wisdom and with thine understanding, thou hast gotten thee riches and have gotten gold and silver into thy treasures. Now, that's a perfect precept for everything that we're talking about. Because going back to Tesla, right? What happened with him? He came up with free energy that would have took away oil. It would have took away drilling, fracking. It would have took away mines. Because he came up with free energy. So if you got free energy, bro, you don't got to drill in the earth no more. You don't have to do none of that. You don't have to mine no more. Okay? Just take the electromagnetic energy that's coming from the earth and that's in the atmosphere. Oh, common sense. But we dealing with a king that has no common sense. We dealing with a cruel Lord. We dealing with Esau Edom, man. There's no common sense in his method. The scriptures say the Father is going to destroy those that destroy the earth. This dude destroys the earth on purpose. All right? So you already know what happened to this dude. Okay? They unalived him. And they labeled him a quack. All right? We don't even got to keep going on that. Let's go to the next one. Let me see where it's at. And then you had other people. You had other people that came up with the same device. 1972, 1985, 85, 98, 95, 2007, etc., etc. And what happened to them? They get shut down. They get labeled as quacks. Okay? Oh, I can cure cancer. Oh, nah, shut them up. We don't need to cure that yet. We don't need to cure that yet. We need to keep making money because what is cancer? Let's look up how much it makes a year. Boy, is a multi-billion-dollar industry that generates over $200 billion annually in the U.S. with projections indicating a further significant increase. They profit off of your death. Do you understand that? Do you understand that? $200 billion and it's going up. Well, look, talking about this type of shit, I'm gonna get the live took down. But I'm on my Yasharahla shit. I don't care tonight, cause they tripping. While exact figures vary by year and source, Global revenue for cancer drugs alone reached $223 billion in 2023. And the U.S. oncology market was valued at approximately $145.5 billion in 2024, projected to exceed $416 billion by 2030. So this lets you know that they're going to give you more cancer. What gives you cancer? Your phone, the foods that you eat, the TVs, the laptops, the Teslas, the cars, all right? All this type of radiation, 5G, okay? All this stuff is gonna give you the CANCER if you overdo it. Because most people don't fast. Most people don't fast and pray. Most people don't get away from this stuff. Most people sleep with their phone. You sleep on your phone, man. That's 8 hours of radiation that's under you. You might not know any better. Most people use Bluetooth headphones. So you got waves going from your phone to your head. And you don't even think about that. It was, you know what I'm saying? Exactly. They don't have Yahawah, Bahasham, Yahawashi. And they don't have that wisdom. And that comes from fearing Yahawah, Bahasham, Yahawashi. He teaches us. He shows us. You know what I'm saying? And we do that. We relay that to our people. All right? You have 14 people in here. Now you got 10, 11. Hey, those 3 people, they probably sleep with their phone. They probably like, he ain't about to tell me what to do. Nigga, I ain't telling you what to do. I'm just telling you. Hey, be a dumbass and sleep beside your phone. And watch your ass need chemotherapy in a couple years, man. All right? Stupid. Let's keep it going.
Stances. Dr. Nemes, who had reproduced the frequency therapy results, was found dead in his laboratory under conditions that investigators deemed mysterious but not suspicious. Dr. Koch, another Rife supporter, died suddenly just before testifying about the cancer cure's effectiveness. Rife spent his final years fighting legal battles and patent disputes, impoverished and broken by the systematic destruction of his...
Just like they did Tesla. Just like they did Tesla. He spent the latter years of his life broke. All right?
Life's work. The technology that could have saved millions of lives was erased to protect the profits of an industry that benefits from treating disease rather than curing it. The brown
Boom. Ain't that what we just said? Okay? So don't think you about to get up here and cure cancer. No, man. You will get unalived. This is a business, boy. As you just saw, this is a $200 billion business with increase to be a $416 business in 2034. Okay? So if you know anybody that got cancer, hey, you can thank Esau. Esau want that patient. Thank you. You go to the hospital, bro. They love to see Jake come to the hospital. Oh yeah, I got dumbass Jake come to the hospital. You know, I got dumbass Jake. All right, so that's what's going on. You done posted that precept. I got you. You ain't gotta post it again. All right, let's get this though. 1 Timothy 6:10. And it reads, "For the love of money is the root of all evil, which while some coveted after, they have erred from the faith and pierced themselves through with many sorrows." Now, you have Jake becoming doctors, Jake becoming nurses, RNs, LBNs, whatever, all that dumb shit, okay? And they may know the correct way, but they don't tell nobody. They don't go try and help nobody. Now, you do got some Jake out there that do try to help people. But as you can see, as it said in the video, they get their medical license took away. They get unalived. They get shut up. They get suppressed. So suppression is oppression. So you can't actually help people how you would want to. You have to what? You have to fall back and play dumb so you can get paid. You know? And then in the back of your mind, you like, yeah, it's wrong. I shouldn't give you this. I shouldn't give you these pharmaceuticals because they're not going to help you. They're just going to hurt you. You know what I'm saying? All right. What this dude talking about? What camp? What are you talking about, dude? What are you talking about? Okay? So, at the end of the day, these doctors are falling and they're shutting their mouth just to get paid. Okay? What is this nigga talking about? What camp you from? Nigga, I'm on TikTok teaching, bro. The hell is you talking about? Alright? I don't even, y'all weird, bro. That's why I'm about to stay on YouTube, man. Cause y'all weird as hell on here. Alright? Sirach 38:4. Let's get that. And it reads, Yahawah hath created medicines out of the earth, and he that is wise will not abhor them. Okay? So, medicines that come out of the earth, such as herbs, such as soursop. What did I make this morning? Soursop and honey. All right? I got my day started with some soursop and honey tea. Right? What else, man? Avocado, Dominican avocado. Okay? Burdock root. You know, parsley, cilantro to cleanse the blood, etc., etc., etc. You know, we could go into it. It's not a health live, but we could go into it. But these things are there to help you. All right? Greatest outdoors, all you need to know, bro, is that I represent Yahawah, Bahasham, Yahawashi, man. Okay? I'm coming with the correct doctrine, the correct understanding. That's all you need to know. All right? If you don't like the doctrine, you don't like the understanding, then you free to leave, you know? Let's keep it going.
Gravity device. In 1928, physicist Thomas Townsend Brown discovered that
it ain't no all praises, bro. We don't say that shit. Okay? We gonna say Kal Halalyam La Yahawah Bahasham Yahawashi. Okay? I'm gonna give reverence and honor to the Father's name and the Son's name. I ain't gonna say no generic ass all praises. That shit goofy as hell.
electrically charged objects experience a force that appears to defy gravity, leading to the development of anti-gravity technology that could revolutionize transportation and space travel. His electrogravitics research successfully demonstrated controlled flight using electrical fields alone, before being classified and hidden under national security restrictions that persist today. Brown's breakthrough came from observing that capacitors, devices that store electrical charge, experience a net force when charged with high voltage. The capacitors would move toward their positive electrode, creating thrust without any propellant or moving parts.
Boom. Okay, thrust without any propellant or moving part. Now, what does this sound like to you, brothers and sisters? You know what I'm saying? What does this sound like? Anti-gravity technology. What does it sound like? Come on. Somebody that's been listening. Anybody, take a swing at it. Take a guess. What kind of technology do you see using this? We got 12 people in here. Everybody sleep? I said, man, that's just... That's why I'm tired of teaching, man. Don't nobody be listening. Thank you. The chariots, man. The chariots, yes. Let's run it back. Let's run it back, man. Dang. Anybody listening?
Using electrical fields alone, before being classified and hidden under national security restrictions that persist today. Brown's breakthrough came from observing that capacitors, devices that store electrical charge, experience a net force when charged with high voltage. The capacitors would move toward their positive electrode, creating thrust without any propellant or moving parts. This Biefeld-Brown effect suggested that electricity and gravity were connected in ways that contradicted Einstein's general relativity. In 1952, Brown demonstrated his anti-gravity technology to military officials using disc-shaped capacitors that could fly around a circular course under their own power. The devices achieved speeds of several hundred miles per hour using only electrical energy, with no jets, propellers, or reaction mass of any kind.
Boom. So, and you know, the chariots are far advanced, but this was, as we saying, Yahawah Bahasham Yahawashi giving this individual a semi breakthrough to touch on that type of technology where you don't really need a fuel source to that point. That's a detrimental fuel source. It's just going off of electromagnetic energy, which is coming from the earth. All right. So it's not going off of gasoline. You're not going to have to stop and get gas anywhere. You're not going to have to refill. You think the chariots is stopping somewhere and getting gas? Oh, let me go back. Let me go back to the spiritual realm. Let me fill up real quick so I can come back to earth. No. All right. This is similar technology. This is just in a lower level. Okay. We're not going to have to, when we get a chariot, we're not going to have to stop and get gas. It's unlimited energy, man. This is what these individuals was tapping into. This is what Tesla was tapping into. This is what this guy was tapping into. All right? Anti-gravity. Right? So this is what? This is revolutionary. You know what I'm saying? Look what Brother Cocker would say. Imagine getting stuck here because you out of fuel and can't go back to the spirit realm. Exactly. So we know we don't have to move on no damn. Ain't no fuel source with the chariots. It's a whole different type of technology, man. All right. Now Yahawah was giving hints, bits, and pieces. Look what it say. No fuel needed. This is the type of technology that dude was tapping into. No fuel needed. Now, is Esau gonna support that? No. Esau makes billions and billions and trillions of dollars off of airplane companies, off of airports, off of Delta, United, Southwest, Spirit, whoever it be. Esau is making billions and trillions of dollars off of these airplane companies. You know what I'm saying? So if they came up with a type of technology that didn't need no fuel, that would take all that money, that revenue away. Okay, let's see how this ends. You already know how it ends. It ended how the last three ended. But let's see how it ends.
The implications were staggering. Brown's electrogravitics could enable spacecraft that didn't require fuel, aircraft that could hover indefinitely using only battery power, and transportation systems that operated silently and without environmental impact.
Silently. So many of us have seen chariots, but have you ever heard them? No. I've never heard a chariot. I've seen chariots, all right, many times, but I've never heard them. Every time I see them, zip across the sky. Now, when you see a plane, you hear a loud ass noise because it's using gasoline. It's using JP5. You know what I'm saying? But you never hear chariots. Japanese trains, what? I don't know what she talking about. Anyway, they're silent. Exactly. They're silent. All right. Yeah, it would be deafening if it made noise. Exactly. It would break your eardrums. And at the speed that it's going. Chariots are going 20,000 miles per hour, 40,000 miles per hour. So, yeah, man, it's past Mach 5. You know what I'm saying?
Technology promised to revolutionize every aspect of human mobility and space exploration. Classified military research into electrogravitics began immediately, with projects codenamed Winter Haven and Project Y receiving substantial funding from the Air Force and Navy. Brown was recruited to develop military applications of anti-gravity technology, including disc-shaped aircraft that could outperform any conventional fighter plane. By 1955, Brown had developed electrogravitics devices that could lift their own power supplies and achieve sustained flight. Classified demonstrations showed disc-shaped craft powered by high-voltage generators achieving remarkable performance characteristics that conventional aircraft couldn't match. The research was suddenly classified in 1956 under national security orders that made public discussion of electrogravitics illegal. Brown's patents were seized, his research facilities were closed, and all documentation of anti-gravity technology was removed from public access. The official explanation was that the research had failed to produce practical results. independent investigators discovered that major aerospace companies had secretly incorporated electrogravitics research into advanced aircraft programs. Aviation Week magazine reported in 1956 that several aircraft manufacturers were developing flame jet engines and electrogravitic propulsion systems for next-generation military aircraft. The suppression of Brown's anti-gravity technology appears to have been motivated by strategic military considerations rather than scientific validity. If electrogravitics could enable revolutionary aircraft capabilities, controlling the technology would provide decisive military advantages to nations that possessed it. Brown died in 1985, still prohibited from discussing his breakthrough discovery that electricity could overcome gravity. His anti-gravity technology remains classified, hidden within government laboratories, where it may have contributed to advanced aircraft programs that officially don't exist.
We can move on to the next one. But understanding that this type of technology they do have, it's not as advanced as the chariots. It's not as advanced as what Yahawah Bahasham Yahawashi has. Okay? But they do have this technology. And this is, let's go to Revelations. Okay? This is Revelations 12:7. And there was a war in heaven. Michael and his angels fought against the dragon, and the dragon fought and his angels. Now, what is that talking about? Okay, that's talking about Esau with his jets, his planes, and whatever type of saucers that he has. Okay, he's gonna fight against the chariots, and what? It's not gonna last long. All right, let's get this. Verse 8. And prevailed not, neither was their place found any more in heaven. And the great dragon was cast out, that old serpent, called the devil and Satan, which is the YT man, which deceiveth the whole world. He was cast out into the earth, and his angels were cast out with him. All right. So this is talking about what's about to take place very soon. WW3, and ultimately Yahawashi and Michael the archangel coming, and that battle that's going to be in heaven, which is only going to last an hour, man. Okay? It ain't going to be no long, profound, drawn-out battle. No. The technology that Yahawah Bahasham Yahawashi has is 10 million, whatever, man, times advanced than whatever Esau has. Who gave Esau the technology to even create these type of devices? The Most High. He's given them that type of devices. All right. Let's get this. In the book of Job. Salakia. Isaiah 54:16. Behold, I have created the smith that bloweth the coals in the fire, and that bringeth forth an instrument for his work. And I have created the waster to destroy. So, whatever it be, nuclear warfare, hydrogen bombs, atomic bombs, whatever it be, Yahawah has allowed this devil to get these type of programs and technologies, man. All right? So let's keep it going. Let's go to the next invention. And what is it? Run it back, right?
Requiring no fuel, electricity, or external power. Mechanical work. Ascent to etheric force.
Right here.
By investors who realized it would destroy the waves and molecular resonance. His the key.
All right, right here. This is the Keeler motor mystery.
Motor mystery. In 1872, inventor John Worrell, Keeley developed a motor that ran on what he called sympathetic vibration, extracting unlimited energy from sound waves and molecular resonance. His demonstrations powered heavy machinery using nothing more than musical tones and harmonic frequencies, before the technology was suppressed by investors who realized it would destroy the industrial economy. Keeley's motor worked by harnessing what he termed etheric force, the vibrational energy that he claimed existed within all matter. By creating specific acoustic frequencies, his device could tap into this molecular motion and convert it into mechanical work, essentially creating a perpetual motion machine that violated the laws of thermodynamics. Public demonstrations in Philadelphia showed Keely's motor lifting enormous weights, powering industrial equipment, and running continuously for hours using only sound waves generated.
All right, so breaking it down a little bit, he's using sound to manipulate matter. All right. Now, if you go into a little bit on how the pyramids and all that type of stuff was constructed, you'll find out that they were back then using sound to manipulate matter. All right. Exactly. The elder said it. That's what CERN does. Okay. So Esau has been experimenting with these type of, devices to use sound to manipulate matter and to manipulate dimensions. All right. And they didn't fuck around and brought demons in and things of that nature. Right. So let's go to 1 Samuel 16 and let's go towards the end. All right. And start at 21. And David came to Saul and stood before him, and he loved him greatly, and he became his armor bearer. And Saul sent to Jesse, saying, Let David, I pray thee, stand before me, for he hath found favor in my sight. And it came to pass, when the evil spirit from power was upon Saul, that David took an harp and played with his hand. So Saul was refreshed and was well, and the evil spirit departed from him. Once again, letting you know that music, sound waves, okay, can be used for good, to heal. And they have other different properties, man. How was everything? Hey, this question to the comment board. How was everything created? How was everything created? Is it, y'all still asleep? I'm saying, man, hey, man, we could end this lesson right now. Thank you, Kakuma. Yeah, Halalyam said, let there be light. Okay, no, y'all ain't listening, man. Exactly, Anthony. By sound. Okay? No, hey, bro, if you just got in here and you ain't listening, then you shouldn't even be talking. You better Ecclesiastes 5, 1 through 3. Okay? What are we talking about? We're talking about sound. Now let's go to Genesis, the 1st chapter, verse 3. And Halalyam said, let there be light, and there was light. Halalyam said, you see what we talking about? Sound waves. Vibration, speaking in the Paleo Hebrew, it has power. So it was spoke. It was spoke. To say, speak, utter, to say, to answer, to say in one heart, to think, to command, to promise, to intend. All right. So going back. Let's get a scripture real quick. What is that? Psalms. Psalms 18 and 21. Death and life are in the power of the tongue, and they that love it shall eat the fruit thereof. So your words are important. Things that you say are important. If you playing instruments, these things are important. The vibrations that you play are important. The stupid music you listen to is important. It can help you or it can hurt you. It's detrimental or it's beneficial. All right? So let's keep it going.
Tuning forks and acoustic devices. The motor appeared to extract limitless energy from the air itself, requiring no fuel, electricity, or external power source. Scientists and investors who witnessed the demonstrations confirmed that Keely's machine produced far more energy than any known power source could provide. The device generated thousands of horsepower, using only vibrations that Keeley created with simple musical instruments and acoustic resonators. The Keeley Motor Company was formed in 1874, with funding from wealthy investors who recognized the revolutionary implications of unlimited free energy. But as development progressed, investors realized that Keeley's technology would make existing industrial infrastructure obsolete.
Boom! Who this happened with? Who was we talking about this happened with earlier? Let's go back. Let's revisit. Who did this happen with earlier? Remember this? Tesla. Because Tesla created free energy. And they said, hey man, your device is going to eliminate the oil companies. It's going to eliminate mining. It's going to eliminate drilling. So we can't do this. We don't need free energy. Esau, the rulers of this planet, they don't need free energy, man. Okay, so yeah, bro, you can't produce this. Sorry, we're gonna have to get rid of it. So you see this happening again. Let's let it go.
Industrial infrastructure obsolete, destroying fortunes built on coal, steam, and mechanical power. Systematic sabotage of Keeley's work began in 1881 when investors demanded that he reveal the secret of his vibrational energy source. When Keeley refused to disclose the complete principles behind his motor, funding was withdrawn and legal action was taken to seize his equipment and research materials. After Keeley's death in 1898, investigators who examined his laboratory claimed to find evidence of fraud, including hidden compressed air systems.
Boom. They turn him into a what? They turn him into a quack. All right, let's get this Isaiah 10:1. Woe unto them that decree unrighteous decrees and that write grievousness which they have prescribed. Okay, so they use the legal system to bring him down. Exactly. Now they slander. Didn't they slander the last other people that we went into? They slandered all of them except the last dude because he unalived, but they wouldn't allow him to bring his information out to the world. So you have to what, man? You got to play by the rules of this white man, or you ain't gonna make it, you know? Or you got to trust in Yahawah, Bahasham, Yahawashi. All right? So y'all got enough on that one. Let's move to the next one. And where is it at? Salaki, let me find it real quick. Oh, I think this is it.
That generate more power than their input energy should theoretically allow. These experiments suggest that Keeley may have discovered legitimate principles of energy extraction from molecular vibration. The Keeley motor represented technology that could have eliminated humanity's dependence on fossil fuels and centralized power generation over a century ago. Its suppression and subsequent debunking protected industrial interests that profited from energy scarcity and prevented the development of truly sustainable. Previously in Hutchison's laboratory, the intersecting electromagnetic field under national security laws of physics in ways that mainstream science insists. Tesla coils, Van de Graaff generators, and RF signal generators were operated simultaneously in Hutchison's laboratory. The intersecting electromagnetic fields created zones where normal physics ceased to function, causing metal objects to spontaneously levitate, fuse together, or transform into different materials.
Boy, this shit is annoying.
Video documentation shows...
No! Hey. That might be a sign to just wrap it up right there, man. All right. You know, y'all getting the point. Y'all getting the point that suppression is oppression. Whatever you bring out that is not falling in line with Esau, they gonna suppress. Hey, man, I didn't know the laptop was going to die, man. I I didn't know the laptop was gonna die. It ain't even give me that warning. One second. Give it like 2 minutes. It'll be back.
Investors who had withdrawn, including hidden compressed air systems that they alleged had powered his demonstrations. However, these debunking efforts were funded by the same investors who had withdrawn support from his research and had financial interests.
Hold up.
Bars bending like rubber, pieces of metal lifting.
No, that's your little sister, man.
And dissimilar materials fusing together at the molecular level without heat or pressure. Objects placed in the electromagnetic field zones exhibited behavior that violated.
And I want to go to the next one, but it ain't even showing me it. It's like it went to it real quick.
Conservation of energy, ability to alter matter at the atomic level. Steel bars would partially transmute into aluminum, wood would fuse with metal, and objects would spontaneously change their molecular composition in ways that seemed to violate the fundamental laws of chemistry and nuclear physics. In 1990, Hutchison's laboratory equipment was confiscated by Canadian authorities acting on behalf of international military interests. His electromagnetic generators, documentation, and experimental materials were seized and classified under national security orders that prohibited him from discussing or replicating his work. Attempts to reproduce the Hutchison effect by government laboratories have reportedly been successful, but remain classified.
And this one is just one where he's basically using energy to manipulate structures. All right? To make structures either weaker or fuse with other structures and things of that nature. So this is type of stuff, like, when you think about it, let's go back to Genesis. Let's go to Genesis, the first chapter, man. All right. In the beginning, Halalyam, which is the angels, created the heaven and the earth. And the earth was without form and void, and darkness was upon the face of the deep. And the spirit of power moved upon the face of the waters. And Halalyam said, "Let there be light," and there was light. So that creation type of understanding, being able to create, and once again, Yahawah, Bahasham, Yahawashi is giving these guys a little bit of a touch of that for them to touch on things in different areas and to be able to manipulate stuff. And I looked at this whole video. I just looked at it like, this is just a tease for what we gonna be able to do in the kingdom. Let's go to Philippians to be able to what? As this machine is taking, this is the Hutchison effect. This machine is taking stuff, and like you got the stone, it mingled the stone with the wood. You know what I'm saying? So it integrated it together, and where it's like it's joined together. Now, what does that sound like? This is Philippians 3:20. For our conversation is in heaven, from whence also we look for the Savior, Yahawashi HaMashiach, who shall change our vile body, that it may be fashioned like unto his glorious body, according to the working whereby he is able even to subdue all things unto himself. So to subdue all things is also being able to control elements, right? Having the control over the elements. That is a power that we will have, man. All right? So we can skip past this one. This was a good one, though. But let's get to the next one. As you can, figure out what happened.
Classified. Internal documents suggest that military researchers have incorporated Hutchison's discoveries into advanced weapons programs that can manipulate matter and gravity using electromagnetic field interactions. The suppression of Hutchison's work appears motivated by the revolutionary implications of field effect matter manipulation. If electromagnetic fields can cause levitation, transmutation, and defiance of physical laws, the technology could revolutionize manufacturing, transportation, and materials science while making conventional military hardware obsolete. Hutchison has continued his research in secret, despite government harassment and the confiscation of his equipment. He claims to have developed portable devices that can create localized zones of altered physics, but demonstration of these technologies has been prohibited by national security restrictions. The Hutchison effect represents discovery of field interactions that could transform human understanding of matter, energy, and the fundamental structure of reality. Its systematic suppression suggests that powerful interests prefer to keep this knowledge restricted rather than allow its development for civilian applications. The Reich Orgone Accumulator. In the 1940s, psychiatrist Wilhelm Reich developed devices that could accumulate and concentrate what he called orgone energy, a universal life force that could treat diseases, control weather, and power motors without fuel. His organ technology successfully demonstrated healing effects and weather modification before Reich was imprisoned and his research was systematically destroyed by federal authorities. Reich discovered orgone energy while studying the relationship between psychological health and biological energy. He found that living organisms naturally accumulate and radiate a form of energy that could be concentrated using alternating layers of organic and metallic materials arranged in specific geometric patterns. The orgone accumulator consisted of a box-like structure with walls made from alternating layers of steel wool and organic materials like cotton or wood chips. This configuration created what Reich called an orgone field that could be used to treat illness, accelerate healing, and restore biological vitality to living organisms. Medical testing showed that patients treated in orgone accumulators experienced significant improvements in conditions including cancer, arthritis, and chronic fatigue. Temperature measurements confirmed that the devices generated measurable heat without any power source, suggesting they were actually concentrating some form of environmental energy. Reich's weather modification experiments used large-scale organ devices called cloudbusters that could disperse clouds, create rainfall, and control atmospheric conditions. But
All right, let's go to Zechariah. This is Zechariah 14 and 16. And it shall come to pass that everyone that is left of all the nations which came against Jerusalem shall even go up from year to year to worship the King, Yahawah Bahasham Yahawashi of hosts, and to keep the Feast of Tabernacles. And it shall be that whoso will not come up of all the families of the earth unto Jerusalem to worship the King, Yahawah Bahasham Yahawashi of hosts, even upon them shall be no rain. And if the family of Egypt go not up and come not, that have no rain, there shall be the plague wherewith Yahawah will smite the heathen that come not up to keep the Feast of Tabernacles. Okay, so that's one situation where weather will be controlled. All right, and we already know that the Most High is controlling everything. But in these bodies, once again, we will be able to control the elements. Right. Let's go to Revelations, the 11th chapter. Verse 6. These have power to shut heaven, that it rain not in the days of their prophecy, and have power over waters to turn them to blood and to smite the earth with all plagues as often as they will. Now, we're not going to need no type of devices or none of that Yahawah has allowed these individuals to create, right? We're going to need what? Faith, believing in Yahawah Bahasham Yahawashi. And we'll have the ability to do these things. All right? Hey, y'all tripping? I can rearrange your matter in your body. I can rearrange your teeth. I can rearrange, you know what I'm saying? This is what we talking about. Okay? Power to heal. Okay? So get this in your mind that we will be able to control elements. That means every single thing, not just nothing light. In those everlasting bodies, man, we're going to have extreme power. Now, you can see that this guy ended up locked up in jail, et cetera, like everybody else.
It's a documentation
And made a quack.
and witness testimony supporting Reich's discoveries. Federal authorities obtained court injunctions prohibiting the distribution of orgone devices. In 1956, federal agents raided Reich's laboratory and destroyed his research materials, including books, papers, and orgone accumulators. The systematic destruction was so thorough that agents even burned Reich's scientific journals and personal correspondence, eliminating decades of research into bioenergy effects. Reich was imprisoned in 1957 on charges of contempt of court for continuing his organ research in violation of federal injunctions. He died in federal prison 8 months later under circumstances that his supporters considered suspicious, effectively ending all legitimate research into orgone energy phenomena. Independent researchers who have attempted to replicate Reich's orgone accumulator have reported similar biological effects, including temperature anomalies, enhanced plant growth, and measurable healing acceleration. These results suggest that Reich may have discovered legitimate bioenergy principles that mainstream science refuses to acknowledge. The suppression of Reich's orgone technology appears to have been motivated by its implications for medical treatment and energy generation. If organ accumulators could treat diseases and concentrate environmental energy, they threatened pharmaceutical profits and conventional power generation industries. The Coral Castle Magnetic Levitation System.
All right. Now, with that being said, you got to think about this. All these guys ended up in jail or unalived, all right, et cetera, et cetera. Because what? Because they didn't play along. Who right now has so-called come up with so much amazing technology, but he's not in jail, he's not unalived? What's his name? Dummy, the musky one, right? Y'all know what I'm talking about, the musky one, right? So he's playing along. You think that that car or the technologies creating the robots, you think all that stuff is so revolutionary and it's amazing? No, bro. He's piped in, man. Okay? You don't get that rich and be able to walk around freely like that if you're not piped into the tunnel, man. He's an Edomite. All right? And he's up there. He's controlling things. He's moving things. He's under the banking families. Okay? So he's playing along. If he wasn't playing along, he would be took out. You know? Like all these other guys. So let's keep it going.
Between 1923 and 1951, Edward Leeds Calnan single-handedly built Coral Castle in Florida using massive coral blocks, weighing up to 30 tons each. Working alone at night with only primitive tools, Leeds Calnan demonstrated an unknown method of moving enormous stone blocks that appears to have involved magnetic levitation technology. After his death, all evidence of his construction methods was systematically removed and classified. Leeds Calnan claimed to understand the secrets of pyramid construction and anti-gravity, stating that he had discovered how the ancient Egyptians moved massive stone blocks using magnetic forces rather than mechanical advantage. He built his coral castle as a demonstration of these lost constructions.
Booyah. And that's it. Okay? That explains it because, look, it wasn't no damn... I know y'all people want to believe it. All y'all buggies out there. Y'all want. It was giants, man. They was giants back there. That's how they built the pyramids. They were all really big. No, it wasn't no damn giants, man. Okay? We was the same size. The Egyptians was the same size as us. All right? The ancient Israelites was the same size. Okay? Y'all need to cut that giant shit out. Now, was it a couple people back then that might have been like 9 feet tall? Yeah, Goliath was 9 feet 6 inches. Okay, you had one king that was 15 feet. All right, but that wasn't normal. That wasn't common. All right, so don't get in your mind that you had dudes that was 30 feet tall, 40 feet tall. No, you did not have that. But you had a better knowledge of how to control things, how to use sound waves, how to use electromagnetic energy, how to use the energy of the earth, right? So it was more understanding on the planet. Now let's prove that with let's go to Genesis. This is Genesis 13 and 16. And I will make thy seed as the dust. Oh, no, that's not it. It's Salakia. Where is that joint, man? You shall eat the dust of the earth. 3 and 14. All right. Genesis 3 and 14. And Yahawah power said unto the serpent, because thou hast done this, thou art accursed. Thou art cursed above all cattle and above every beast of the field. Upon thy belly shalt thou go, and dust shalt thou eat all the days of thy life. Now that dust means no understanding, not being able to create anything. All Esau does is steal, copy, mimic. The only thing that he was blessed with was war. Atomic bombs, nuclear bombs, hydrogen bombs, etc., etc. That's the only thing that he's good at, is unaliving people. So you're good at unaliving people. Okay, great. That's not something to be proud of, man. War is not something that to magnify. Okay? Death, you want to magnify that? That's your gift? That's your trophy? That's not beautiful. That's not cool. You know? It shows that you are the wicked. You are the one, you are the you've been a MURDER from the beginning. All right? So this dude has the dust of the earth. So this kingdom right now is the weakest in a sense. Every time this dude ruled, man, it's weak as hell. It wasn't advanced as the Egyptians. It wasn't advanced even as the Babylonians. Right? Their technology, this right here is hurting you. This right here, this is what they got to all their citizens. Something that's unalive in all their citizens. You know? That don't make no sense. All right, I get that for you. John 8 and 44. And it reads, ye are of your father the devil, and the lust of your father ye will do. He was a murderer from the beginning, and abode not in the truth, because there is no truth in him. When he speaketh a lie, he speaketh of his own, for he is a liar and the father of it. And Yahawashi was talking to those Pharisees, telling them, man, y'all just like Esau. Y'all just like the YT man. Y'all just like the Romans. Y'all just like Cain. Y'all just like that serpent. That's the devil. That's the serpent. All right? And that is a man. That's not no snake. That was a man. All right? So, that's showing you that his kingdom is not going to be amazing. He may have certain inventions and stuff but who created everything in America? Who invented everything in America? Jake. Who created the internet? Jake. Right? Yo, Esau ain't even create TikTok. He stole that shit from Moab. Like, let me buy that from you real quick. It's a really good data tracking system. Let me get that from you. Because they ain't using Facebook no more. Instagram ain't working like that. Let me get TikTok off your hands. He robbed, cheat, and steal, man. Everything, man. So I'm gonna let some more of this go, and we're gonna get to the next one. We're gonna begin to wrap it up. I know this lesson running long.
Techniques. Witnesses occasionally observed Leeds Calnan working at night and reported seeing him moving massive coral blocks as if they weighed nothing. The blocks would reportedly float through the air and position themselves precisely where Leeds Calnan directed them, suggesting some form of magnetic or gravitational manipulation. The engineering required to move 30-ton blocks using conventional methods would require heavy machinery that Leeds Calnan didn't possess. His primitive tools, pulleys, chains, and hand-built tripods, couldn't generate the forces needed to lift and position stones weighing tens of thousands of pounds with the precision shown at Coral Castle. Leeds Kalnin's workshop contained unusual electrical equipment, including homemade generators, electromagnetic coils, and devices that he claimed could see magnetic currents. He spoke frequently about understanding magnetic current and the relationship between magnetism and gravity that mainstream science ignored. After Leeds Kalnin's death in 1951, government investigators immediately sealed his workshop and confiscated all of his equipment and research notes. The devices he used for stone construction were removed and classified, and all documentation of his magnetic levitation methods was eliminated from public access. Analysis of the coral blocks at Coral Castle reveals cut marks and shaping that couldn't have been achieved with primitive hand tools. The precision of the stone cutting and the complexity of the mechanical joints suggest the use of advanced tools that Leeds Kalnin officially didn't possess. The positioning accuracy of the massive blocks exceeds what would be possible using conventional construction methods. Some stones are balanced so precisely on single points that they can be moved by hand pressure despite weighing tons, indicating understanding of leverage and balance that approaches perfection. Modern attempts to move similar coral blocks using conventional construction equipment have required multiple cranes and teams of workers. The fact that Leeds Kalnin accomplished the same work alone using primitive tools suggests he had access to construction principles that remain unknown to conventional engineering. The systematic removal of Leeds Kalnin's construction equipment and research materials suggests that his magnetic levitation technology was too advanced to remain in public hands. The methods he used to move massive stones may have demonstrated anti-gravity principles that government agencies preferred to keep classified. The Searle effect generator.
So just to go over that, they know, but they don't want to show. You know what I'm saying? They know how these things was built, but they don't want to show. Because if they had to reveal the information on a lot of these projects, guess what? Life would improve drastically. You know, you would no longer need electricity. You would no longer need gasoline. You would no longer need construction crews. You know, stuff would be built extremely fast. That's why, bro, in the kingdom, we gonna have access to this. All this stuff, we gonna have access to this. The kingdom will be built fast. You know, we gonna know how to do this stuff. We're gonna go back to the old paths. Let's go to that Jeremiah. All in general, man, all over, old paths. So no more of this dumb Esau way. All right? Jeremiah 6:16. Thus saith Yahawah, stand ye in the ways, and see and ask for the old paths. Where was the good way, and walk therein? And ye shall find rest for your souls. But they said, we will not walk therein. So the old paths, man. The old ways. The proper way. With common sense. With understanding. You know? It ain't gonna be no more, hey man, let's do construction where people can get hurt. No, you can have one dude building. You got you can get 5 Moabites and build you a massive mansion. You know what I'm saying? Things of that nature. All right. So let's keep it going.
60s, British electrical engineer John Searle developed a magnetic generator that produced unlimited free energy while demonstrating anti-gravity effects that allowed it to lift off the ground and fly. His Searle effect generator, SEG, successfully powered entire buildings using magnetic field interactions alone before the technology was suppressed by authorities and Searle's research facilities were destroyed. The SEG consisted of magnetic rollers that orbited around magnetized rings in specific geometric patterns. As the rollers moved around the rings, they generated electrical current through magnetic induction, while simultaneously creating anti-gravity effects that reduced the device's apparent weight to 0. Demonstrations showed SEG devices producing kilowatts of electrical power without any input energy source, while simultaneously levitating and flying through the air under their own power. The generators appeared to extract unlimited energy from magnetic field interactions that somehow didn't violate conservation of energy laws. Witnesses described seeing Searle's generators floating above their mounting platforms while powering electrical loads that should have required substantial input power. The devices generated electricity continuously without fuel, mechanical input, or any apparent energy source other than the magnetic interactions of their rotating components. The ESEG technology combined free energy generation with anti-gravity propulsion in a single device that could theoretically power spacecraft indefinitely while providing their own lift and propulsion. The implications for space travel and energy generation were revolutionary.
Booyah. All right. Now, getting back to it, talking about the chariots once again. All right. As Kakuma stated earlier, we won't need to get gas. Okay? We will never have to stop and get gas. What the elder said, these technologies are reverse technology that they stole from our records that they have in the Vatican. All right? So we ain't never gonna have to get gas, man. Okay? Now, is it possible that Yahawah gives them bits and pieces of this stuff? Yes. You know, but Esau is so foolish and so it's getting down to pride. He's so prideful, he doesn't want to use this type of stuff to make this civilization better. You know, that's why it sucks here. Because he's not, bro, you could literally use sound to heal people. How we just showed y'all in this video so much. You could have sound. You could have sound playing in the square. You know, wherever you go to shop at. You could have like vinyl records. We talked about this before. Vinyl records, you can play vinyl records to heal you. That carbon in the vinyl, it heals us. Talking about us, meaning Israelites. So that carbon in the vinyl heals us. Why don't you just have a massive carbon record, a vinyl record playing in the mall? So every time you walk in the mall, man, that vibration is hitting you and you're being healed. But no, Esau wants to send you to the hospital. Esau wants you on the CANCER. Esau wants you with the diabetes. Esau wants you with the arthritis, the psoriasis, whatever it be. Esau wants all this type of stuff to be penetrating you, man. Messing you up. All right? But it's no profit in that. It's no profit in that. You know? No, exactly. No profit in that. You know what I'm saying? Let me see. Cause that one's pretty much done. Cause you already know how that ends. He went to jail and all that. Booyah, booyah. All right. That's the SEG. He got suppressed as usual. Okay. This one is let's let it go.
Engine. In the 1940s, Austrian inventor Victor Schauberger developed revolutionary engines that generated power through implosion rather than explosion, creating vortex effects that could produce unlimited energy while simultaneously purifying air and water. His implosion technology demonstrated efficiency levels impossible with conventional engines, before being confiscated by Allied forces and classified for military applications. Schauberger's implosion engines worked by creating spiral vortex patterns in air and water that concentrated energy inward rather than dispersing it outward like conventional explosion engines. The vortex implosion process generated tremendous power while actually cooling the engine and producing pure, energized air and water as byproducts.
So you telling me an engine that produces water that heals the environment? No. You telling me an engine that produces water that heals the environment? So, okay, let's go into this. We talked about it before. We talked about when the nukes hit, you're going to have what? A nuclear winter. And I said, hey, Yahawah going to clean it up how he want to. He going to clean up Israel how he want to, because Israel has to be cleaned up because we're going to live there. So he has this type of ability. He has these type of technologies. He could probably, whatever. He could just, if he wants to, he could just pull all that radiation up out of the land. We talking about the Father, man, and the Son. We talking about us too, when we get into that body, we're going to have control over the elements. So this is nothing, bro. Our chariots will be like this, flying around, and our chariots are actually helping the environment as we fly around. Okay, let's get 2 precepts. Revelations 11 and 18. And the nations were angry, and thy wrath is come, and the time of the dead that they should be judged, and that thou shouldest give reward unto thy servants the prophets, and to the saints, and them that fear thy name, small and great. That's letting you know the 1/3, not just the 144,000. Okay? Small and great, and shouldest destroy them which destroy the earth. Esau destroys the earth. You have access to this type of technology to heal the world, but you choose gasoline. You choose diesel. You choose solar powered. You choose wind turbines. Wind turbines are not good. Wind energy is not good. Do you know how many birds are dying from wind energy? Them big ass turbines, man. Do you know how many birds are dying? That mess is not good for the atmosphere. Don't let Esau lie to you. All right, let's go to Proverbs 29 and 2. When the righteous are in authority, the people rejoice. But when the wicked beareth rule, the people mourn. We mourn. Do you know that your atmosphere actually depresses you? It's depression. Bro, in the kingdom, man, it's going to be all different type of colors, stones, resources, all that type of stuff, man. All right? It's going to be beautiful upon this earth. It ain't going to be depression. We ain't going to have no suicides. That ain't going to be happening, bro. Ain't nobody going to want to unalive. All right? The only person that's going to want to unalive is the damn Edomites, because they going to be under hard, rigorous slavery. Okay? Even the heathens going to be like, man, massa, a good massa. Massa, a good massa. Shoot, they get out of line, we beat their ass. Yeah, but if they don't get out of line, then it's all good. Ain't got no problems. The food is going to be amazing. The air, the quality, the cars, the houses. We talk about houses, bro, hemp. We're going to be using hemp because you can use hemp, and hemp reduces the coldness in the winter, and it actually makes it colder in the summer. So it's better for your house if you build your house out of hemp, and it's a stronger material. Why you not doing that? Why you not doing that, Esau? Why did you prohibit the use of hemp back in the 30s and the 20s, man? Why did you take that away? Because it was messing with all your other industries. Y'all getting the narrative? Suppression is oppression. Why would you suppress something that actually would make your kingdom better and stronger? Why? You know what I'm saying? That's crazy. Let's keep it going.
The repulsine implosion engine achieved remarkable performance characteristics, generating substantial horsepower while consuming minimal fuel and producing no harmful emissions. The engine operated almost silently and became more efficient as it ran longer, apparently extracting additional energy from the vortex implosion process itself. German military forces took interest in Schauberger's technology during World War II, commissioning him to develop implosion engines for advanced aircraft applications. His work contributed to disc-shaped aircraft prototypes that achieved flight characteristics impossible with conventional propulsion systems. After the war ended,
Yep, and the Germans had that. All right, you can look that up. They was messing with that type of technology. America as well. You know? So this ain't really new. Like we said, Esau has their chariots, but it's nothing matching the Most High's chariots. But they do have chariots of their own. They do have technology they're not telling you about that can move above Mach 5. It can get up there 10,000 miles per hour, stuff like that. They got that. But it's not going to be able to mess with Yahawah, Bahasham, Yahawashi. No, it's not close. You know?
Forces captured Schauberger and seized all of his research materials, including prototypes, blueprints, and documentation of implosion engine principles. He was interrogated extensively about his vortex technology before being released with warnings never to continue his research. Schauberger's implosion engines demonstrated energy efficiency levels that violated conventional thermodynamic principles. The devices appeared to extract more energy from fuel than combustion chemistry should allow, suggesting they were tapping into additional energy sources through vortex manipulation of air and water molecules. The environmental...
That's the thing that they don't tell you, that, as we've been saying this whole live, it's energy in the air. You can create water out of thin air. It's literally moisture in the air. You can create water out of thin air. One more time. You can create water out of thin air. All right? I'm not playing with you. I'm not lying. This stuff is suppressed, though. Because if you knew that, then why would you have to buy water from the store? Why? If you knew how to do it, why doesn't the government teach you how to do that? Why doesn't the government teach you how to start a fire? Why doesn't the government teach you how to clean dirty water? Why doesn't the government teach you, how to grow food? I would think growing food would be something you would need to know how to do. Why doesn't the government teach you how to get seeds? Man, come on, man. Let's go to Daniel 12:4, man. All right? And we about done. I've been saying that, but we for real about done. But thou, O Daniel, shut up the words and seal the book. Even to the time of the end, many shall run to and fro, and knowledge shall be increased. That's this time. Knowledge is being increased. Okay? At the end of the day, look what the sister said. A Jake did that for Flint, Michigan, and they broke the machines at night. And what we've been talking about? Suppression is oppression. Okay? You come up with any type of invention that's not working on Esau's on grid, it's going to get took away. It's going to get destroyed. All right? At the end of the day, man, let's get that Isaiah 56, 10 through 12. His watchmen are blind. They are all ignorant. They are all dumb dogs. They cannot bark, sleeping, lying down, loving to slumber. Yea, they are greedy dogs, which can never have enough. And they are shepherds that cannot understand. They all look to do their own way. Everyone for his gain from his quarter. What did we talk about earlier? All right, the root of evil, money, the love of money. Esau loves money. This is why they suppress this type of technology. And they give you this type of technology. No, I'm not going to give you a car where the exhaust would heal the planet. I'm going to give you a car where the exhaust causes smog. And anybody creating that type of car, I'm going to unalive him and I'm going to take all this research. Okay? Because what? That's not going to make me no money. Life? No. Why would I give you life? Why do I want you to live longer? No, I need you to work 65 years and then I need you to unalive around 75. Get with the program. Oh, you thought you was going to reach 100? Jake, you foolish little Jake. You thought you was going to see 100? Man, you crazy. Verse 12. Come ye, say they, I will fetch wine, and we will fill ourselves with strong drink. And tomorrow shall be as this day, and much more abundant. All right? So, let's keep it going, man.
Benefits of implosion technology were revolutionary. Schauberger's engines produced purified air and water as exhaust products, actually improving environmental conditions while generating power. The technology offered pollution-free energy generation that could reverse environmental damage while providing unlimited clean power. In 1958, American businessmen convinced Schauberger to come to the United States to develop his implosion technology for commercial applications. However, after arriving, he was forced to sign contracts that gave complete control of his inventions to American corporations, while prohibiting him from continuing independent research.
What? He had to sign over his rights to make anything. He had to give that to the corporations. All his rights. So no, Jake, you can't own nothing, bro. No, if you want to create something, you got to do it under me, because I'm the slave master. So you want to create something, you have to do it under me. Don't try to do nothing on your own. All right? What causes smog? Smog is a type of air pollution that forms when certain pollutants react with sunlight. The main causes of smog include vehicle emissions, nitrogen oxides, volatile organic compounds, and particulate matter. Industrial emissions, right? This man, and what's the third one? Burning of fossil fuels, coal, oil, and natural gas. We done went through over 5 things, 5 inventions that eliminated fossil fuels, that eliminated vehicle emissions, eliminated all this stuff that is harmful to the earth. This is why you are mourning, because the devil is in charge, man. All right? This is why you are mourning. This is why you are sick. This is why you are sad. This is why you are depressed. Okay? Verse 2. When the righteous are in authority, the people rejoice, but when the wicked bear rule, the people mourn. Proverbs 29:2. We got to read it one more time, because this is why the people are mourning. Because this guy, all right? The corporations, Esau, Edom, the devil, he controls everything, and he wants to suppress invention. So suppression is oppression. All right? Let's keep it going. Yeah, them curses. Exactly. Matter of fact, let me get one. Verse 30, 28, 30. Thou shalt betroth a wife, and another man shall lie with her. Thou shalt build an house, and thou shalt not dwell therein. Thou shalt plant a vineyard, and shalt not gather the grapes thereof. All these inventions we went through, aren't those vineyards? Isn't that something that could produce, make you billions and trillions of dollars? This technology would have made him trillions and trillions of dollars. You understand? But Esau took it away. Esau made it of no use, and they just suppressed it and put it in the background. All right, let me get this from the brother. Shalawam. The stranger that is within thee shall get up above thee very high, and thou shalt come down very low. He shall lend to thee, and thou shalt not lend to him. He shall be the head, and thou shalt be the tail. Exactly. So that's what Esau wants. Any type of invention you create, it has to go under his system. Let's keep going.
Schauberger died in 1958, shortly after returning to Austria, reportedly broken by the suppression of his life's work. All of his implosion engine technology was classified and removed from public access, preventing the development of clean energy systems that could have eliminated environmental pollution from power generation. Modern researchers who have attempted to replicate Schauberger's vortex implosion principles have achieved limited success, but face systematic suppression through patent denial, funding restrictions, and legal challenges that prevent the commercial development of implosion-based energy systems. The Philadelphia experiment
All right, this is the last one, but as you see, systematic oppression, right? This system, Esau, the elites, the banking families, they're controlling it all. They don't want it to be out there because, matter of fact, let's run it back.
Face systematic suppression through patent denial, funding restrictions, and legal challenges that prevent the commercial development of implosion-based energy systems.
All right, now let's go over them before we hit the last one. Tesla, what did he face? He brought free energy, and they was like, nah, you can't do that. Cause why? We need people to pay for electricity. We need coal. We need oil. We need drilling. We need mining. We won't let you do that. All right. Same thing happened with Kelly Motor and who else? Wright and the seal effect, the generator, and also this one. All right. So when you're cutting out the main corporations, you're cutting out the Edomites, you are deemed a target. You are a threat. You know what I'm saying? The Rife, CANCER cure machine. What? That's a $200 billion industry. No, I can't have you curing anybody. Okay? I need people to unalive. That's what Esau is literally telling you, man. So you can't cure nobody of no illnesses. No, we need diseases. Matter of fact, if you want to help us, create another disease. Create another disease. That's the mind of Esau, bro. He like, yo, can you create another disease? Right? You created a cancer curing machine. Can you create a cancer creating machine? He would pay you for that. Right? The anti-gravity device, where that would eliminate a lot of transportation. Okay? Once again, you wouldn't need gasoline. You wouldn't need fossil fuels. You wouldn't have smog. Nope. Can't do that. That's terrible. We can't do that. Right? The coral castle magnetic levitation. Hey, going back to how they built the pyramids, man. This dude actually tapped into that energy. Okay? That's massive. That's major. So, we can't have that happening. What was the other one? Oh, the Rife orgone, where his invention was healing people. We can't have you healing people. And most of these inventions did not need a fuel source, or they used electromagnetic energy that was already in the air. And that's what we've been talking about this whole lesson, man. Energy is already in the air. This is how the chariots are zipping across, and you don't hear them, and they don't need, ain't no chariot gas stations, man. How many times we got to say it? Ain't no chariot gas stations. All right? Brother said, Khan, that's why Jacob Rock discovered petroleum. And yeah, Khan, yep, that's a good one. So these corporations, right? The elder said, CDC eat them, creating diseases every day. Exactly. Why do you got 19 COVIDs and far more? You had a COVID ever since the 2000s. They've been bringing it out every year, just revamping it, making it stronger and stronger and stronger. Okay? So, man, we done showed y'all that suppression equals oppression. They suppressed these inventions, which would have changed the entire life of the planet. That's why I'm telling y'all, in the kingdom, it will be built fast and strong and sturdy, because all of this information will be back with us. Let's read my opening scripture one more time. All right. Ecclesiastes, verse 9. The thing that has been, it is that which shall be, and that which is done is that which shall be done. And there is no new thing under the sun. This right here, the coral castle, how he was levitating this stuff by himself, using sound waves and electromagnetic stuff. The Egyptians had already tapped into that. Okay? The civilizations before the flood had already tapped into that. The Bible says, the scriptures say, it's got to get like the times of Noah. So we're getting back to that point. All right? We read Daniel 12:4. Knowledge shall be increased. Knowledge is getting back to the point of where it used to be. So keeping it going, verse 10. Is there anything whereof it may be said, see, this is new? No, it hath been already of old time, which was before us. So the Tesla using energy from the earth, that's already been here. Okay? The Rife orgone machine to heal you, that's already been here. All right? The anti-gravity device, that's the chariots. That's the chariots at a lower effect. That's what that is. The cancer cure machine, that's already been here. These things have already been here. There is no remembrance of former things, neither shall there be any remembrance of things that are to come, with those that shall come after. The Most High allowed these individuals to tap into this stuff once again. All right, now let's get into the final one. This one right here kind of creepy, but this actually did happen.
Philadelphia Experiment Teleportation Device. In 1943, the U.S. Navy conducted a classified experiment that successfully teleported the destroyer USS Eldridge from Philadelphia to Norfolk using an experimental electromagnetic field generator. The Philadelphia experiment demonstrated matter transmission and invisibility technology that was immediately classified and hidden because it proved that physical reality could be manipulated through electromagnetic field control. The experiment was based on Einstein's unified field theory, which suggested that electromagnetic and gravitational fields could be manipulated to alter space-time around physical objects. By generating powerful electromagnetic fields around the ship, researchers hoped to achieve radar invisibility, but instead achieve something far more extraordinary. On October 28, 1943, massive electromagnetic generators created a field around USS Eldridge that caused the ship to vanish completely from the Philadelphia Naval Shipyard. Witnesses reported seeing the ship disappear in a flash of blue-green light, leaving only an indentation in the water where it had been moored. The ship reappeared minutes later at the Norfolk Naval Station in Virginia, over 200 miles away, having apparently traveled instantaneously through what could only be described as teleportation. Radar operators at Norfolk confirmed the ship's sudden appearance before it vanished again and returned to Philadelphia. The crew of USS Eldridge experienced severe psychological and physical effects from the teleportation process. Some sailors were found fused partially into the ship's metal structure. Others became invisible and couldn't turn the effect off, and many suffered from temporal displacement that left them existing partially outside normal time flow. Dr. Morris Jessup, who investigated the experiment, received detailed accounts from sailors who described the horrifying effects of electromagnetic field exposure on human consciousness. The technology had succeeded in manipulating physical reality, but at costs that made it too dangerous for practical application. The Navy immediately classified all records of the Philadelphia experiment and denied that any such research had occurred. Witnesses were transferred to different assignments, sworn to secrecy, and threatened with court-martial if they discussed what they had observed. The teleportation technology demonstrated that physical matter could be transmitted instantly.
Boom. All right, so y'all get what happened. You know what I'm saying? And yeah, Khan, the brother to side, yeah, they made a couple movies on it. This has been, brought out. This actually did happen. All right, you can look this up. Now, let's go to the scriptures, okay? Let's go to Luke, the 24th chapter. And let's start at, I don't want to get all of it, but let's start at, we could just start at 24. And certain of them which were with us went to the sepulchre and found it even so as the woman had said, but him they saw. Him they saw not. Then he said unto them, O fools and slow of heart, to believe all that the prophets have spoken, ought not Hamashiach to have suffered these things and to enter into his glory? And beginning at Moses and all the prophets, he expounded unto them. Boy, both phones about to die. He expounded unto them in all the scriptures the things concerning himself. And they drew nigh unto the village whither they went, and he made as though he would have gone further. But they constrained him, saying, Abide with us, for it is towards evening, and the day is far spent. And he went in to tarry with them. And it came to pass, as he sat at meat with them, he took bread and blessed it and brake and gave to them, and their eyes was open, and they knew him, and he vanished out of their sight. And they said one to another, Did not our heart burn within us while he talked with us by the way, and while he opened to us the scriptures? And they rose up the same hour and returned to Jerusalem, and found the 11 gathered together, and them that were with them, saying, Yahawashi is risen indeed, and hath appeared to Simon. And they told what things were done in the way, and how he was known of them in breaking of bread. So Yahawashi displayed the ability to teleport, to appear from one position to another position. This is not fairy tale. This is not sci-fi. All right? This is indeed true. And we will have these abilities, man. Once again, reading Philippians 3 and 20. Okay, letting you know that this is gonna be common practice, man. All right, verse 21. What shall change? Who shall change our vile body that it may be fashioned like unto his glorious body, according to the working whereby he is able even to subdue all things unto himself. So be able to teleport is going to be simple and easy, man. In those everlasting bodies. All right. So let's let a little bit more of this play. But as you can see, Esau messed around with this technology, and you had people stuck in the ship, one arm in the ship, one leg in the ship, half out. You know, it's very weird.
Simultaneously across vast distances using electromagnetic field manipulation. The implications for transportation, communication, and military applications were revolutionary, offering capabilities that would fundamentally transform human civilization. Independent researchers who investigated the Philadelphia experiment found evidence that the technology was based on principles of dimensional manipulation that allowed objects to travel through parallel space-time dimensions rather than conventional three-dimensional space. This suggested that reality itself could be edited using electromagnetic field control. The systematic suppression of teleportation technology appears motivated by its implications for military and economic control. If matter transmission became available, it would eliminate transportation industries, make military bases vulnerable to instant attack, and fundamentally alter the structure of global commerce and political power. Conclusion. These 10 erased inventions represent more than lost opportunities for technological progress. They're evidence of a systematic pattern of suppression that protects existing power structures.
What? Say that again. A what? Can you say that one more time?
They're evidence of a systematic pattern of suppression that protects existing power structures by eliminating innovations that would fundamentally transform human civilization. From Tesla's free energy systems to the Philadelphia experiment's teleportation technology, each breakthrough was eliminated not because it didn't work, but because it worked too well. What unites these suppressed inventions isn't science.
Remember that mass pew in the grocery store? And dude had created a car that ran off, I believe, water. You know? Hey, because it worked too well. That similar story is constant all over America, man. It's constant. Start researching. Look into that. You're gonna find over 10 people that have created cars that run off of water or run off of plastic or run off of whatever it may be. That's simple. That's not hard to do. Right? It's just when you do it, Esau comes forth and knocks you down. Because no, you can't do that. Then we're not going to allow you to do that. All right?
Significant possibility, but economic and political threat. Free energy would eliminate utility companies. Cancer cures would destroy pharmaceutical profits. Anti-gravity would revolutionize transportation and make military aircraft obsolete. Matter transmutation would eliminate scarcity-based economics. Each technology was suppressed because it challenged industries worth trillions of dollars. The pattern of suppression is consistent across decades and continents. Brilliant inventors create revolutionary technologies, demonstrate their effectiveness to credible witnesses, then face systematic persecution through patent seizure, equipment confiscation, legal harassment, and often mysterious deaths or disappearances. The innovations that could have created a golden age of human prosperity are buried in classified vaults or destroyed entirely. Perhaps most disturbing is what these erased inventions reveal about the nature of technological progress. Innovation isn't limited by scientific possibility, but by economic permission. Breakthrough technologies exist but remain hidden because they threaten the profit margins of industries built on artificial scarcity and planned obsolescence. The 10 inventions documented here represent just a fraction of the revolutionary technologies that have been systematically erased from history. In classified facilities worldwide, breakthrough innovations gather dust, while humanity continues to struggle with problems that were solved decades ago by inventors whose work was deemed too dangerous for public knowledge. These are...
I'm going to let it go right there. Point been made. All right. Suppression is oppression. Esau has suppressed multiple inventions that would have allowed the advancement of this place. As the scriptures say, we could have saved Babylon, but Babylon ain't want to be saved. That's because who? The king is wicked as hell. This place could have been amazing, but it was not meant to be amazing. The prophecies didn't state for it to be amazing. It has been a golden cup in Yahawah's hand, as he stated, but that's to do what he wanted to do with it, which was, be a whore, all right, to judge people. Okay, this is that judgment land. This is where everybody will come to be judged. This land and the valley of Yahawashi. Okay, so these two lands is where it's going to take place at. So this is why when you think about it, be like, man, why we don't got flying cars yet? Well, we could have been had them, but Esau does not want that. Esau does not want that. the wicked that control the earth does not want that. All right, so let's check the comment board real quick. Brother said, I'll be thinking about tech innovations all the time. Khan. It's a farce. It's a false scarcity of tech once it's in our hands. Khan. As the dude said, an artificial scarcity where it's a fake. It's all fake. It's an illusion. With all this technology, bro, life could have been amazing. Yeah. Matuzabak said that earlier. Esau making money off the petrol. Most definitely. Then, yeah, that's perfect, Elder. Yep. So that right there lets you know, man. They want to get that oil. They want to get that gas. They want to drill. They want to get that coal. They want to get those resources from the earth versus using the energy that's in the air. Nah, don't use that. You know what I'm saying? So, hey, with that being said, I'm going to wrap it up right there. If there's any questions, ask them. And I'm while I'm saluting out, if it ain't no questions, after I get done saluting, then I'm going to get up out of here, man. This has been a long lesson, but I hope it was an edifying lesson. Hey, facing the east, all praises be to Yahawah, Bahasham, Yahawashi, Bahasham, Kakadash. Double honors to the apostles, elders, and bishops of the great millstone, which rule well and teach well in sincerity, taught us his truth. Shalawam to the Lord's hopeful elect, 144,000 men, as well as 1/3 men, women, and children. Yahawah for every single brother that dropped precepts, and everybody that gave input, all right? And Shalawam Zaquan, yeah, my omelet was amazing. I'm going to let you know that. But Yahawah for all the support and everything, and Yahawah for y'all sticking in, man. I know this was a long lesson, man, but it needed to be brought out, and it was a fire lesson. All right, Lord's willing, I'll remember to put the link to this video up when I upload the lesson, which will probably be tomorrow. I upload it, but let me see if I could show them inventions one more time. Man, you saw make this so hard. Booyah. All right. So, well, first is 10 impossible inventions that were erased from history. And it's on the channel is Weird Why. Weird Why. All right. And then showing you the inventions right there. All right. What you mean they gonna take the video down? No, they better not. Hey, this fair use, Esau. This fair use. You said this was a baby lesson. Oh, yeah, I guess. Yeah, it was about 2 hours. All right. But hey, I don't see no questions, man. So I'm gonna get up out of here. You know. Yep. I'm gonna get up out of here, man. All right. You said this guy is selfish and didn't share his blueberry bread. Hey. I ain't gonna lie. I would have fought somebody over that blueberry bread, boy. Hey. I'm sorry. You just don't know, bro. The brother said they showed that apparatus one in the movie with Hugh Jackman, that magician movie. Yup. You know, see? And that's Esau letting his tongue. He falling over his tongue. He shows you this type of stuff. As the brother Tassad said, he saw a couple movies on the Philadelphia experiment. You know? So a lot of this type, hey, the anti-gravity device, I watched a little bit about Bob Lazar and Area 51 and S4, you know, those type of things out there in the Nevada desert. They talk about anti-gravity. So don't think that this stuff is not in production. The government seized it and they started working on it. They took their hands on it. They use it. You know? That's why we read Revelations 12:7, that war in heaven. They got their little chariots they gonna try to fight Yahawah, Bahasham, Yahawashi with, but it ain't gonna work out. It's a whole movie on the Tesla experiment. It's actually a good movie, man. That Tesla movie is a solid movie. You know? Yeah. They coming hard. They gonna try to come hard. And that's why we saying Esau is the sword, man. You got these 2/3 playing around saying you gonna pew Esau. Boy, just off this technology alone, man. You can't do nothing to this dude, man. Our only way to get up out of here is Yahawah Bahasham Yahawashi. Alright? But hey, I'm gonna get up out of here, brothers. Hey, the water for everybody coming through, man. Alright? Shalawam. Yeah, at all levels. I gotta look that up. He said NASA supposedly got a patent on the description of the chariots in Ezekiel. And with them things, man, telescopes they can see the chariots. I know they see them, man. You know? Most definitely. They probably see them up close and personal. They can see these ships, man. You know what I'm saying? But hey, I'm gonna get up out of here for real. Shalawam.